Hello, and welcome to I'm Every Woman. I'm your host, Natisha Clarke. I am so excited to have you here with us today. This podcast is a celebration of the beauty, strength, and complexity of womanhood, especially from the perspective of Jamaican women. Here, we dive deep into the stories that shape our lives, balancing family, friendships, work, and personal passions. It's a space where we share laughs, insights, challenges, and triumphs, all while embracing the unique cultural roots that make us who we are. Today, I have a wonderful guest joining me, and I can't wait to dive into a conversation that I know will be inspiring, fun, and thought provoking. So, grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's start this journey together. Hello,
Hi, how
I'm
are
good. How
you?
are you?
I'm okay.
So, today we have the beautiful Jashawnia Buddington, and I know Jashawnia from high school. We went to high
Yeah,
school together from first form to what, fifth form? Yes, because you
before.
went to a different sixth form
Yeah, I
class.
did.
Yes, yes, yes. So, Jashawna, my first question is I want to ask you about your upbringing, right? So, did you grow up
Um,
with two parents, or was it a single parent home, or what was your situation like growing up?
so I grew up with my mom and my stepdad. My dad was barely in the picture, but my stepdad filled his spot, you know, in a good way. And up to this day, we're still very close. I call him dad, and he means a lot to me. Um, my mom, my mom was, Jamaican parents are very strict.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom was a great mom, to be honest, but she wasn't the mother that you could really express yourself to, your thoughts, your feelings openly. So she was a rough, tough love kind of mom, but yeah.
Mm. So you feel like that affected you in any way growing up? And we don't have to speak English, We can, I know you, I think you prefer to speak English, but I like my patwa. So whatever you're
We
comfortable with
can mix.
overall.
We can mix.
We can mix. Good, good,
Yeah.
good. So you feel like your mother giving you kind of tough love? How you feel that impact you today to the woman that you are right now?
To be honest, it has affected me a lot
Mm,
because it affects the way how I love others. To be honest, like even even since recently, I was telling my partner, I'm not the affectionate, mushy, gushy type of girl. Like when it comes on to a lot of hugs and kisses, I'm not really so open. Like I love it and I want to be loved that way too. And, I want to feel all that affection and mushiness, but it kind of makes me feel awkward sometimes because that's
mm,
not the way that I was raised. Even with my son, like I have a
mm,
3-year-old and he's so lovey-dovey, as we Jamaicans would say. Him lovey-dovey bad. Him love
mm,
kiss, him love hug. He's always in my face, and sometimes I get so overwhelmed and overstimulated. I'm like,
yeah.
can mommy have some space,
Time.
please?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it does affect me now, to be honest. And I think it affects my relationship with my younger siblings because I had to step up to be a motherly figure to them. And I realized that I love them the way that my mom loved me, which I don't always want it to be that way because
Mm,
it's not nice when you don't have when you're not able to express yourself a certain type of way, or when you feel as if you can't speak to your guardian, or because I'm their guardian now, about certain type of things, or you don't feel like you can be open because of the way that I
we had some issues, but we're back. So I want to address a few of the things that you spoke about, Joshana, and I feel like a lot of those things are cultural and it seems almost like traditional in a way. Like having to be raised by someone else that is not your father. When you reach a certain age, now you're taking care of your siblings. When you start entering into relationships now, because of how you were grown and the love that you were shown at that stage, because it seems like that is your life and you don't want that to be some of the experiences that you want to have. So you're trying to unlearn a lot of those things and it is now a
am.
struggle, right? So also, Do you recall at were you ever living with both your parents ever?
To be honest, I can't remember because my dad left when I was 2.
Mm.
So I don't have any memories of him like in person. So yeah.
Mm. Is he in do you know who he is? Is he in your life now?
He died 2 years ago or over a year ago. Yeah, so he died, but we used to talk like, well, barely over the years. The last time I spoke with my dad, he was trying to fix our relationship.
Relationship.
And I said I didn't want to speak with him because it makes no sense. Because every time he'd come, he'd say, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And I would say, you're really not have to do nothing for me because, I've been managing. I'm good. Just be there for me. I want to be able to come to my father and ask for advice, tell you about my day and, just stuff like those. And, he just call, oh, I'm here, we talk, then he disappears again. So the constant disappointment, I was like, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, you're not here and you're not trying to be here. You
Yeah.
just feel guilty in a moment and you express yourself. You come at your ball, me miss you, me love you, da da da, then you're gone again. So it doesn't make any sense. But I did feel bad for not giving him another chance, and he died like a few months after. So yeah.
Mm. I'm so I don't I don't think I have the right words to say because I don't want to say I'm sorry to hear that if it is that you're not sorry in some sense because you have a right to how you feel, right? And I feel like probably a lot of the times when he come to you and he said something, it was cliche that he was saying like
Yeah.
because I feel like I love you is cliche because like it means nothing if you really don't love the person,
Or if
right?
you don't show it, like I always tell people, actions, actions, actions. What you say to
Hmm.
me means nothing to me. Show me what
Hmm.
you're saying to me. So yeah.
Yeah. And especially for females, it is very important for us to have a father, a father figure growing up because at the end of the day, both of them created us. So it is not fair to us, male or female, but it's not fair to a child to have just the one parent um trying to figure it out how to be two to the one child. I kind of feel like that's where sometimes the tough love comes in because sometimes probably the tough love would come from the man with the sternment, with his voice and the deepness. And then now your mother is there as more of a nurturing figure. But then now when you're forced to be that one person, it kind of confused and them kind of confused and they don't know what to do because it's not like them they get a manual or them live this life before. So now everything come on upon
So
them.
she
And
was she was forced in her masculine energy. So yeah.
yeah. So now she was a female, and it's like no, she's has to take on a male role. So now
Mhm.
that whatever testosterone is in her, she has to make sure she builds it up to be able to be there for her children, right? And
True.
I feel like that is what the role you're stepping into now, because
Yeah.
now you're young.
Yeah.
We're both around the same age, 1 year, two. I think we're both the same age, regardless.
Yeah.
We're both the same age, and now having to step into that role to have to mother children that are not yours, right?
Yeah.
Because you can call it
And
taking care of them, but you're mothering them.
I am, and it does, like I said, it kind of does affect the relationships that I have now because, like, even the other day, my partner was like, can you just try to be feminine? Like, allow me,
Mm,
like, you don't have to be able, like, you don't have to feel like you need to be in control of everything all the time or you have to figure everything out all the time. But that is what I'm used to.
yeah.
So, even if I say I'm trying to take a step back and let you lead, I am used to leading. I am used to being, the role model, the head of
Hmm.
the household, the
Having to figure it out.
breadwinner,
Hmm.
etc., etc. So it is difficult to be honest because I'm used to getting whatever I want on my own. I'm used to figuring things out on my own. So yeah.
Yeah, and even having to step into that role, or even having to step into role of having more of a feminine energy, it's not something you can do overnight. Because if most of your life you were trying to figure it out as a female, and now somebody come in your life now and them say like, no man, babes, I got it, man, I got it, relax. It's not something
No,
you do overnight. And do you
no.
feel like you have potential trust issues because like suppose him leave? This a man
Yeah.
you come and I tell us, say, no, you know, I'm going to take care of you, relax and everything. And suppose you start now relaxing and everything, but then
And
he go.
then, yeah.
Have you ever
And that's
thought
the
of
thing
that?
too. That's the thing too, because like my dad left, you know. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm just used to people leaving. My dad left, my mom left when I was at a certain age. She left all my siblings, you know, to my care. So I'm just used to people getting up and leaving, you know, when you least expect it to. So I have to be on guard at all times, you know, in the even if I'm like, all right, I'm relaxed, in the back of my head there's always something saying, no, you can't be too relaxed. Like you can't
Mm-hmm.
get too comfortable because you never
Mm-hmm.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. Or come like, Jashawnia, come like, what do you something you go through? Are you been through and you're still going through, right?
Ah, right. No, I would say I'm fine. I'm grateful. You know, every day I have to learn to adjust or readjust. Like maybe 2 years ago, I was going through it, to be honest. 2 to 3 years ago, my son is what, 3 now? Because, you know, I was suffering from postpartum depression, and then I had to take care of my siblings, and then I had to bring a child into the world. And I didn't want to leave my siblings behind, which I didn't leave them behind. I figured it out with them along the
Mm-hmm.
journey. And I would like to say I love my siblings. I'm grateful for them. Without them, my life would be a lot more difficult. You know, maybe financially it was hard trying to put food on the table for everybody or making sure that everybody had what they needed. But like the support that I got from them, mentally it was draining, and mentally I had support because I mean sometimes when I couldn't manage with my son, they were there for me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if I felt some type of way, all I needed was to be around my siblings, and we laugh and we chat, and you know, I'm good again. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, there are pros and cons,
Good.
but the pros outweighs the cons, and that is what I'm grateful
That's
for.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a Jamaican thing to remain humble and to not like in some way express pain. Cause a lot of your foot broke, you come like say, nah, cry out for help. Because like as you said, like you've been through a lot, but sometimes it's not until like we share a story and hear somebody saying like, no man, Jashawnia, you really got through a lot, you're really going through a lot, then you actually realize that it was a lot. And
Yeah,
it
and
is
it's
a
not
lot.
okay because I'm the type of person, I'm always okay. Like
Yes.
I could be going through it and I would say, you know, I'm good,
I'm
man. I'm
okay.
good. Everything good. I'm fine.
Yes.
And, you know, my friends who know me, they say, Josh, you're not fine. I'm like, I'm good. I'm fine. Trust me, I'm fine. Till my friends start saying, you know what? I know you long enough. You got this. Like anything at all that I'm going through, they're like, I know you got this. So you're not even have to worry about much. And like,
Because you're gonna come through.
I've just learned to accept and, you know, like work on things as they come my way. And then I'm trying to adapt this perspective on life. If I cannot control it, I leave it. I let it be. Why
Mm.
worry about something that you have no control over?
Mm.
So you just have to let things flow, you know? So yeah.
Wow, I love your perspective. Wow. It shows that even the difficulty and the storms and the weathering, you're finding a way to persevere. You're finding a way
Yeah.
to get through it. And I admire
Yeah.
that about you. From a long time, you've always been that girl that always like figure it out, find a way, and you always have a positive on outlook on life. One outlook on life. And one time you like, you must mad. There's no way. You used to be this one person like never cuss, never really. I mean, I was wonder like something must wrong with you. There's no way someone can be so positive about life. This and I'm like, you know, have problems with your yard. Like you were so positive, like it's crazy.
Yeah. But to be honest, I'm not saying that you shouldn't focus on your problems and how to solve them, but what you focus on is what you get. So
Mm-hmm.
the more you're grateful for the little things in life, the more thankful you are, the more you look at, oh, I have a roof over my head. A lot of people don't have that. I'm able to buy the things that I want, and I'm able to give to the people that I love. I have clothes on my back. I don't have to, you know? So I am grateful, to be honest. And that's just what I focus on mostly. Like the moment I start getting in a depressive mood, I'm like, girl, like look where I come from. Like,
Yeah.
do you remember where you're coming from?
Yeah.
I literally have a picture in my favorites in my phone where like a year ago, and it even came up on my Snapchat, in memories. A year ago, I was literally sleeping on a blanket. I had my two blankets on the floor, one to put on the floor, one to cover me, and my little pillow, and just a little fan in the house that I am living in now. Because, me and my mom, we got into it, and she told me, leave my place, da da da. And I was like, okay, fine. And I remember people, like family members, saying to me, like, don't sleep on the floor. Come stay with me. We have beds. Why would you sleep on the floor when, you have people that can help you? But in my mind, I was like, I paid for this place. This is my place. So I have no
Mm-hmm.
problem sleeping on the floor for
Yeah.
as long as I need to until I get things figured out. And that is what I
Mm-hmm.
did. Like a month after that, I got everything that I needed for my home, and I was good. And I wouldn't say I was suffering or anything like that because I wasn't. Well, maybe mentally I was because, the one person who is supposed to ensure that you're safe because a parent remains a parent for the rest of your life.
Right. No matter what. No matter what
So,
age, what stage.
yes. So, you have some parents there like, if you ever run into trouble, you can always come home.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have that.
Good.
Well, my stepdad, yes, but he's overseas. But my mom, she's not that type of person. The least little thing, she's like, oh, leave my place, da da da. You cannot tell her the truth. You can't confront her with certain things. She's not
Mm-hmm.
gonna accept it. And even if she's wrong, but I'm the person, I'm a no nonsense type of person. And if I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling this type of way, I'm gonna tell you I feel this type of way.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna brush it under the rug, or I'm not gonna pretty up anything for you, especially if you're somebody that I love. So yeah, but it was an experience. It's been a journey, but I'm way better now, which I'm grateful for. I remember even, what was it, in summer, uh, we had a family gathering at my grandma's house. And we were there, we were drinking, eating, laughing. And she whispered in my ears because the music was so loud. Because I'm a granny's girl. So I was like under her arms, and she whispered in my ear, she said, I remember when I came to visit you and your bed was on the floor. And
Mm-hmm.
when I came home, I cried. And I got so emotional. She said, I cried because why would a mother want to do something like that to her child? And I'm not gonna cry. And she said, look at where you are now. Like, I came back, and in no time you had everything. Your place looked so good. You're happy, enjoy, you have everything for your child, da da da. And it just felt so good. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I made this happen. Like, yeah, so
Yeah. The water will hold on the tears. And as I'm here too, getting a little teary eyed, but it just shows reassurance means a lot to us as females too. It's not just about someone coming to us and say, oh, you're beautiful or you have a lovely smile. That's not the only reassurance that matters to us. It's the reassurance that shows us and proves to us that what we're doing is good. Our intentions are good. We stand by what we believe and by what we feel, especially where you feel, right?
yeah,
That is your own right, where you feel. And even going back to the masculine feminine thing. It's because of what you got through now and you know so you get it on your own. It's so hard for you to let go now and just relax.
exactly, exactly. Because I don't feel like, well, I'm not going to say I don't feel like, I know, I'm not going to say that because who knows what God has in store for me. But I don't feel like there's any other person out there who is going to go as hard for me as I go for myself,
Mm-hmm.
who's going to make the sacrifices that I make for myself, that I'm willing to make for myself and make for the people that I love. So yeah, it's not easy for somebody to just come and say, "Hey, Josh, I got you," and I'm like, "Okay, fine, sure, you got me." No, 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 no. You
Yeah.
have to show
Can't just
me.
let go.
Like I
Yeah.
have to see it, and it takes some times too because you're gonna have to learn to trust that person. You're gonna have to learn
Mm-hmm.
to put your faith and put your all into that person, like
Mm-hmm.
you would put it in yourself because you're used to yourself giving you everything that you want. You're used to going the extra mile to for yourself and for the people that you love. So like it's not easy to just pass on the baton to somebody else and be like, okay, I'm sure you can do the job as well as I do. No, it's
Yeah.
not like that. So it does take some time, and I still it's a working process, to be honest, because and then
Yeah.
I have been the head of a household for so long now, like for years. So like I do the manly things around my house too. So like sometimes when I visit my boyfriend and I'm at his house and I'm doing something, he's like, "Why are you doing that? Like that's not your job. Like you shouldn't do that. You're a female. Go sit down." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I know how to do it. It's easy to do." He's like, "No, no, no, that's not a female's job." But I'm like, I have been doing this
Because
for
you've been
years.
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, it,
And
it does.
sometimes because you're doing something for so long, it becomes so natural that you don't even realize like it is out of the box of things that you should do. And especially that is a
Yeah.
very important thing for you and your partner to also discuss like gender roles, because where's the book about gender roles and what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do as a woman, right? But that's another conversation. But what I want to dive into is to understand how you got to where you are. What is making you, or what made you the woman that you are right now? So I want to go back to the earliest point of your memory, all the way down into the back in your brain, to childhood. What was Jashawnia like as a child?
I was happy. I loved my childhood growing up. You have your neighbors, kids that you play with. You have your little neighborhood friend them. I have my siblings them a whole heap away. So, we are get up. We have our friends. Everybody come together. We're playing football. We're playing cricket. We go pick mango a bush. Go over Mass John yard. Go pick two
Yes.
breadfruit.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a great childhood, to be honest. I can't really, other than the part where I didn't really have the room to express myself sometimes. If you cry too much, you're for fool. Go sit down there so where you ball for. Um, but other than that part, it was good. I was very close to my brother. He's 1 year younger than me. We had a great relationship. He was and still is a protector of mine. He's taught me a lot of stuff about relationships and the little tricks them when man use.
So yes, so we were just talking about some of the things that your brother taught you about relationship growing up. So you can continue from there.
Oh yeah. So we had a great relationship, little tricks and tips here and there about how the males play around and such and so on. But to be honest, I think your own experiences really does it for you because you can hear that, but until you really experience it or until you're put in a certain situation, then you won't really understand. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So I'm glad that you had a fun childhood. I'm glad that you had fun in your childhood. But you said something that really stick out to me. Like when you're a child and if you're crying or if you're asking certain questions and they're like, "Well, you're ball fat that ball, you're idiot." I feel like we need to cut that out. We
Yeah.
need to tear that right out.
I think
Because
that's something that is passed down like
mm-hmm,
naturally. I don't know because your parents raise you this way and they say that those things to you, and not everybody is self-aware in a certain sense
mm,
because even sometimes I find myself saying things like that to my child, like if he cries too much, where I cry for, you don't need for the cry. what are you crying about? Like, stop crying or stuff like those. But I think it's just things that it's gonna take a while
Well,
if they're to
mhm,
say, hey, I'm gonna work on this, but trust me, it's a task.
mhm.
Because
Yeah, because
when
yeah,
something is instilled in you, like things are repeated to you daily, 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 you don't even realize that you're
realize.
projecting the same thing that you receive. So
Mhm.
that's why it's really important too that we know the type of people and the energy that we surround ourselves with. Because
Mm.
we suck things too, not consciously knowing. So
Yeah,
um,
that is so true. That is really and truly so true. And it's not until we reach to that point that we realize that we're repeating these said things that we don't want to be a part of us. And
so true.
again, because we've just entered into this adulthood stage. We're fresh into adulthood. We're a few years into adulthood. So literally most of our life is behind us. And
Mhm.
that is who we are right now. And then we're reaching into the space, as you said, self-awareness, self-actualization. We're trying to figure out who we are.
True.
And then in the minute of figuring out who we are, we're remembering those past things that make us, that assist in us being who we are right now. And some of them we want to keep, and some of them we want to unlearn. And it is very difficult because as you reach that next stage in life, you realize you see something else, you want to try something new, and you realize, something I really like how this go in the first place. I don't really like that experience. I don't want to carry that with me. And it is very difficult and it is very hard, especially if that is who you are right now. Because who you are right now, you're a mother and you are a guardian, you're a sister, you're an auntie, you're a girlfriend, you're all of these things. A few years, you probably weren't all of those things. So all of these things are now new to you and you have to figure it out, right? So, but just to say and just to go back, I'm glad you at least enjoy the childhood part so you don't feel so stressed for make you come like say, as you reach adulthood now, you have to work, you have to fend for yourself, you have to fend for others. There was no enjoyment in your life before, so I'm glad you enjoyed that stage. Right? So now going into like childhood, now going into a little bit like primary school, entering in your preteen, adolescent, before you reach high school. What was that like for you?
Before high school, my primary school was good. I did pretty well ac- academically. Yes, I did pretty well
Really?
academically. Um, I had a good primary school experience, to be honest. You know, I was never the type to let anybody bully me, but I was always nice to
Mm,
people. I've always had a caring spirit, to be honest. As far as I can remember, I've always been sharing my lunch. I've always been kind. I've always been helpful. I've always been loving. And that is
mm,
naturally me. I know.
yeah.
Well, no, I'm more on the miserable side now, because when you have to groom like
Mm,
like your siblings or your child, sometimes it gets frustrating and they don't really understand it, but it's just your way of looking out for them. Like
mm-hmm.
sometimes I'm the cool big sister, but most times I have to be their mom
Mom.
because I have to be like, no, this is not right, or I don't expect
Mm,
it from you, because I have to instill certain things within them. But as they get older, I'm sure they will
they'll
understand.
understand and they'll appreciate it later. But as you said, they don't understand right now because how could they?
Oh, yeah,
Right?
true. Yeah.
So, and as you mentioned, like sharing food, yes, you've always been that. I don't know, you've always been a positive person that I can remember. I think it's called like congenial, like that kind person, someone you can always talk to. I'm not sure if I'm getting the word right, but I wanted to share something I remember. I don't know who and me was walking on the road, right? I don't know if it was me and Brittany or probably me and my ex-boyfriend in high school at the time, and we were like, uptown South, and like with the roundabout on the right, that's why you go like you walk, we go I park, and on the other side I road like over Juicy Beef, that's so, and you did a walk past. We don't know where you did a walk past with, but we did it on the other side of the road, and whenever they like a shout and like say, so yeah, so I was on the other side of the road, and you were on the opposing side, and you had a box food in your hand. You had a box food in your hand, and I think it was you and Dwayne that was walking at the time, and you're passing a homeless guy on the side of the road, and you gave them your food. And you've always been that person. Like, even if you're just by the food and you take 2 spoons out of it, if you walk past somebody, you always give them your food. And I'm like, wow. Wow. And
because
yes. Go
because
ahead, go ahead.
no, I know that I can listen to me, man. All if me no know or sure say me I get it elsewhere. Like that's just me. I don't know how to explain it or why I'm this way, but that is natural to
Mm-hmm.
me. I remember my mom telling me growing up, to how you're kind, people are gonna kill you. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
she said she's like the same people and way help. You're too nice. You're too nice. People will kill you. That's what she told me. Because I remember this one time she was taking me to evening lessons, I think, and I saw this lady who normally comes to the same classes. She's like old. I think you know that lady from Manning. She always do over the sexy classes with a big bag on her shoulder. One little
Can't,
short lady.
can't
Yeah.
remember. No.
So she was there waiting for taxi, but I know she's going to class because it's like the same time period. So I told my mommy, pick her up and let's drop her because she's going the same place. Mom was like, no, 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 like, but I can't blame her because of how the
Mm-hmm.
world is now and because of
Yeah.
things she might had experienced
Insecurity issues.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so but that's just always been me. But by growing and experiencing some things, I had to alter that a little because I,
Yes.
I couldn't remain the same. I couldn't remain the same.
Oh my
Too
God.
many too many walkovers, too
The
many
world has
betrayals.
changed you.
No, I'm still nice. I mean, I'm still nice.
Yes, yes, yes. You really were truly like one of the nicest, kindest persons that
Yeah, I
I
was a nice girl in high
knew.
school.
Yeah, and I also like, and I understand now the changes that you have to make, because the world, Jamaica, is a very cruel place, and as you said, that people will take advantage of it because you were super duper nice, right? You always cared,
Yeah.
you always had a concern.
Nice. Too
Yes,
nice. Too,
yeah.
girl.
Oh my God. Yes, yes,
I
yes.
remember Brittany. You know Brittany, my best friend to this
Your
day.
Brittany or my Brittany?
My
Oh,
Brittany.
your Brittany. Okay, Brittany
Man,
Smith. Yes.
Brittany used to get so upset sometimes. She said, Jashawnia, you're not even eating none of the food yet. Stop giving
Ye-
people your lunch.
Yes.
Stop giving her your lunch. Stop giving
Yeah.
people your money. And I used to be like, oh, Brit, me go eat later. Them not have it. I have to share. She's like, oh, you stay there. Like, yeah. I remember
No,
this time we went to
Brittany
BK
is the one of a truth.
Brittany, yeah, we went to BK after school, and there was this little homeless boy. He was in primary school
Mhm.
at the time. And I told him, come eat with us. I'll get you a burger. I'll buy you a burger. And he sat with us and he told me about everything he was going through. He was being abused. He had to be on the streets trying to make money, begging people, no slippers, no nothing. And girl, when we were walking to the bus park after that, Brittany looked at me and Brittany say, nobody start ball now. Nobody with it. And I did it and I broke down in tears because I was like, oh my God, you really have people living like you really have kids
Yeah.
living like this? Like if I
Mhm.
could take this child and
I would have
help him,
taken.
I would. I would.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That is too so many points there, but that is too the reality of a lot of Jamaican children. I remember for me too, because I always feel like if I touch a food, I don't feel like it's inappropriate to give them the food, right? I feel like I should give them new. That is just my own thing. I feel like I should give them new food, but at the end of the day, like they're grateful for whatever they
They
get.
get
Like you can,
yeah.
they take it, but I always
They
just feel
barely
like,
get anything.
yeah, but I always feel like I should give them new food, and me never have no money. Look here, I'm literally like one stage away from where you are. So like, I'm sorry, like me not have it none at all.
Yeah, I
Like, there's
get
no one food that me have. I must eat. I know only food me eat for the day. But anyways, and speaking on those children was to walk up and down in a sad tone. They will look up picking them in a primary school. remember when me at work, when me just left Mannings, and me at work at Sandals, somebody start to make a look of money because me I live with my father, so I never really have to pay much and so forth. And every time now me get money, and if me take a bus go serve instead of coming to live at Granger, if me take a bus go serve and Mr. got KFC. And even to stick a pin just to show like even all my years of going to Mannings, I've never known how to order at KFC or BK. That's to show you how much I never went. I
Oh
never had it to go, right? And I
my.
remember even this one time I went and a friend of mine, very good friend of mine, so like if me an idiot, how me finna know how to order off of the menu. And it did hurt me, right? Because people don't even understand that you don't have it. Right? Of course, you look on people, you don't even know their day-to-day life in and outs, but
Mm-hmm.
people really and truly don't have it. I remember so I can't believe so like them telling me like 16, 17, I'm not even know if I order off a KFC menu.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, so one of the reasons why I would go live from Sandals and go to Savos to buy KFC because I'm like, oh my god, now me have look money in my pocket, more and buy KFC because me never get when you come from school every weekend or every second weekend you would go KFC.
Yeah.
Never really had that. So I'm
Every
like, okay, now my time to get KFC. And I would
mm-hmm.
see the children there and they must have like chocolate, right? And I remember this one little boy, he was so cute. And like, me just feel it. Me feel it for him. And me remember me put me give him $500. And I said, no, me no want the chocolate. And I say here. And me give him my money and me feel so bad because me have more money in my purse. So me I say like, me if you give me one of my money, or me just give him the $500. And like, even that, yeah, kill up my conscience because like, me if you give more because next 2 weeks again, I get paid. It's not like I desperately need the money right now. And it's like, even those things, you shouldn't have to be burdened with those things because you shouldn't even have to be seeing these children suffer. Even you as a child yourself, you shouldn't have to experience this kind of life of struggling because it's
Mm-hmm.
like in some way I feel like I was a stage away from being that child. Like if my parents used to them now, will give me no money or whatever, because them never really have it either way to send me to my school. Not to give me school because they not no money to give me. So it's like at some point I could have been that child. So now when me have it, me give it to them, and then even when you give it to them, you feel like you don't give them enough.
Enough.
You
Yeah.
feel like you can do so much better. But is
More.
that really our responsibility? Right? So that was just something to touch, and it really hurts me, especially if you see look up picnic on the road. I walk up and down and I beg. I walk up and down with one shoes on them foot, one another one a big bread. They on the roadside with them parents, it whole day. It it hurt me. It
Yeah,
really hurt me.
it's a lot. It's a lot. And then that's one of the things too. And that's why I had to step up for my siblings. Not saying that they would have reached that stage, but who knows? But I'm
Mhm.
just saying I never wanted them to feel like they didn't have anybody to turn to or like
Mhm.
they lacked so much and people treat them any and all type of way.
Oh yeah,
No,
accept anything.
no. So I just took them as my own. So
Yeah.
so
Mm.
yeah.
And that's a lot to carry, Jashawnia. That is a lot to carry. And I don't know if it's to say like so sad again that that is the culture of Jamaican women because I wasn't raised by my mother. I was raised by whoever could raise me at that time. From age from the day I was born to 5, I think I was with my mom. Then after that my mom left and she came overseas, and then I was raised by my sisters. Then my older sister, I think she probably left by that time. Then I was raised by my second older sister. Then she leave. Then I was raised by my third sister, right? And then at one point I had to live with my aunt in Kingston. Then I had to come back, live with my sisters, and then move to another sister to live with. And then after that I have to live with my father. So again, where's my I'm not experiencing my mother, my sisters, just as you. My sisters now had to step into that role to care for me. And at one point now, taking care of my little brother, because now it's just females in the house as sisters. So me now listen to my older sister because like, why you tell me for do? You're not my mother. And then now I'm trying to tell my brother now what to do because I feel like I know what is right for him. Even at a young age, you have to grow up so fast.
So
Even my
true.
niece, I had to take care of my niece. Like
You're
my niece was
forced.
my daughter.
You're
You're
forced
forced to grow up into this
to
role
grow up to be
that
mature
you
and
have
make
no
certain
experience
decisions.
in either. Yeah,
Yes. So
because
true.
even I remember, I think I was like 9 or 8. My father told me, "Go and go cook." And imagine, I didn't know how to cook. And when he said go and go cook, he mean go and go cook dinner. And me have to get up there, Jashawnia, base and try to remember how my sister cut up the meat, season the meat, and put it on the stove. And me cook it turn out alright and them eat it. And that's so you go from after there. You
Mm-hmm.
have to from a young age me a wash clothes. Why me as a child have to wash everybody clothes in the house? You get me? I say, why me as a child have to cook food? You get me? I say, why me
True.
as a child have to worry about the lunch money we have to come feed me and I stress over all of this and all of that. So like even some of those burdens, we really shouldn't have to endure them as a child. I don't know. I wouldn't say I don't know what can we do to better other generations coming. There's a lot to be done.
Yeah,
There's
there
a
is.
lot to be done because now you're
And
in this role that you have no experience in and you
I think
have to
that's
figure it
part
out.
I think it scars you as a mother, especially because you don't want the same life for your child. You never
Mm-hmm.
want your child to be lacking anything. You never want your child to be doing certain things from a certain type of age. Cause well, I'm a mom. I'm a boy mom. I want my son to know how to do everything for himself. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not like I'm gonna get up like you need to do this and you need to do that when you're at a young age because those responsibilities aren't yours. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I remember I started washing my uniforms from I was like in grade 7 because my mom used to wash for everybody. And I was like, I'm old enough now. I can manage. I can wash them myself and, take some of the load off her, and I shouldn't have been thinking that type of way.
Way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I like the longest while I can remember. I feel like I'm kind of a glue for my family, like
Mm.
in a sense where I bring everybody
Got it
together.
together.
Yeah, so, and I'm the middle child too, so a lot of that comes with a lot of burden.
I didn't do.
So
How
yeah,
many siblings do you have?
I have 18 siblings. My mom has 9 kids, and my dad has 11.
Joshua, you are lying.
Yeah, yeah. And it's since recently I met some of my dad's kids. I didn't really know them. Yeah, girl. And my mom is like a boys type of mom. Like she love her boy picking them. My mother love her boy picking them. God to bed. Girl
You know,
picking yeah, the girl
yeah,
picking them.
that's the.
Yeah, so
And I know, say I feel like that's a Jamaican thing too for the woman. Them love them boy pitney. Them love them boy pitney more than they love a girl pitney.
yep.
My mother the same thing. Me I call her out. Yes, she had the same thing. 18, 18. Do you mean eight? Eight like
18.
EIGHT? 18?
Because remember it would be 10 other from my dad and then 8
Yeah,
up.
and then your mom.
Mhm.
And either way, you take a sibling, a sibling in the bloodline. Do you know all of their names?
I know all my mom kids' names. I know most of my dad's kids' names. I haven't met all of them. But
All of
since recently I met some of them, which was really good. Big up the Buddington team. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Oh
Yeah, because I
my
went to my
god.
oldest sister's wedding by my dad's side. She's amazing. Mind you, I've never met that girl before, and every single
Oh,
time she message me, she's gonna end the conversation with "Love you, sister"
you.
or "I love you."
Yeah.
So I mean, she's kind of a me in a sense. She's so sweet. But yeah, and I met my oldest brother. He's a Leslie. He's my dad's junior. He's so handsome. He's so sweet. Girl, him nice. Joshua is so nice. He's the only one that was born in Canada. So two in Jamaica, one in Canada, the rest in the States. So yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, girl.
I'm glad you had the opportunity to meet your other siblings because that is important. Family is important, even though family sometimes can drive her crazy, but family is important. And I want to ask you an important question also. Were these children like a part of your were your was your father a part of these children's life?
Um, what I'm finding out since recently that my brother told me, that's my old, sorry, my battery's dying. Like my oldest brother and the other siblings, no, he was barely there for a lot of them. Like the older ones got a little time with him, but he wasn't really there for their, so growing up I felt like why us? Why daddy run left me and my brother in a probably because we are Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And he got deported and he found his way back over through Canada. That's where he got my other younger brother from. And like speaking to the other siblings, I realized it's not me alone. Like he literally just had us. He
Yeah, that's
tried
God.
to step in where he could, like every now and then, and call us every now and then, have a little conversation every now and then. But yeah.
Yeah. Him just shoot and gone, literally. But and probably that kind of ease the burden off of you in a while, like emotionally, to make you feel like
It
you were
did.
the odd
It
one
did.
out. Yeah,
It
yeah,
did. Trust me, it did.
yeah. And I encourage you once you feel it in your heart to reach out to get to know your siblings because again, as I
I,
said, like family is important. I know they can like be a lot sometimes, but family is important.
I'm a family person, so yeah, we talk. I met Joshua, I met Leslie, I met Ebony, I met Precious. The twins. One of the twins died. Her baby daddy shot her and killed
Yeah.
her. That was before my dad passed. So, and then the other twin, we used to talk until I was in the process of looking about my visa, and I asked her if I could use her information, like the go to address and so. Because and you're my sister, we have the same last name. And so this girl, I got turned to me and said the only time I reach out I when it have something to do with coming to the States, which was not true. Because we used to check on each other every now and then. So I realized she probably just never want me over there. I don't know. And either way, I still got my visa and everything. My stepdad was like, let's go see her. Let's go say hi. But I was like, no, that's weird. I don't want to show up and then she probably go feel like I'm a stalker, I'm a creep, or anything of that
Yeah.
sort. So I just let her be, to be honest. So, girl,
Mm.
everything has been a struggle. Every single thing that I've ever accomplished or ever tried to work on or ever tried to attain, there is always a struggle. But
Something. There's
just know
something
that
to
I
get there.
always prevail.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
appreciate it more if you know where you got
Yeah.
you and know to be there. Wow. Wow, wow, wow,
Yep.
Jashawnia, wow. Oh, well, it's even made me realize I haven't even asked you some of the questions that I was intended to ask you, but it is okay. It is okay. Right? So we've spoken about childhood, we've spoken about adolescence, preteen. So now we're going to like high school. And I remember someone told me, but I wonder who the person is to discredit who they are. Somebody told me high school was gonna be one of the best moments of my life. Them lie. Them lie, them
Yep.
lie, them lie.
Bad. Bad, bad,
Them
bad,
lie.
bad.
I don't even remember high school. I don't even remember it that much. And I feel like now is the best moments of my life. Like whatever high school I kind of just remember high school being fun in a way, like a lot of laughing, a lot of drama, a lot of gossip,
Mhm.
and I enjoyed that. But no, Natisha, no, figuring out life, no, treading her own path, no, because I always wanted to be an adult. I always wanted to be on my own and to be an adult because
You always wanted to be a what?
adult, yes, and I don't regret it, no matter how things are for me now, because I set my own path, I make my own mistakes, and I find
Mm-hmm.
my own way. Before, no, no, not saying anything to those before who took care of me or anything whose care I was under, but I appreciate now who I am and who I am being and who I am being because of what I'm doing for myself. I'm making my own mistakes, I'm finding my own way, I'm praising my own self in my own way, and I love that for me, right?
I love
So,
that for you
like,
too.
yes. So I know a lot of persons are like, adulthood is like trash and all of these things, but I pray to be an adult.
I
I
don't think
love this
so.
life.
And I think what you say, like the things you say, they hold so much weight. Like they say, the tongue is a wishing wand. So if you're gonna say this is that, like that's what you're gonna get from it. That's what you're gonna see. I
Yes,
mean, that's what the
exactly.
universe is gonna project back to you
Bring to
because that's
you.
what you're
Yes.
projecting to the universe, you know.
Mhm.
And that is why I try my best to not think a certain type of way or to speak a certain type of way towards anything pertaining myself or my family, my friends, the people around me. If I ever hear nobody around me say them broke, no, you're not broke. You just don't have it right now. You're low
No, I
on
don't have
funds
it right
right
now.
now. You're not able to pay for
Yes.
the things you want or attain the
Right
things you
now.
want right now in this moment. But never,
Yes.
never, ever say you're broke.
Broke.
Never
It's
say you're
yes.
poor.
Mm.
You're not rich in money, but you're rich in love. You're rich in Christ.
Hi everyone. I do want to apologize for this abrupt ending of this episode, but please stay tuned for part 2 of another episode continuing this conversation of I'm Every Woman with Jashawnia Buddington. Bye.